Today we are looking at a Ram 1500. This is a 5.7 litre pushrod V8 engine, very similar to the 6.4 that we've regularly been covering in our recent social media content. Obviously a little bit smaller. It's still a pushrod V8, and we're still seeing some overlapping common issues with both engines. So some of this stuff does apply to the 5.7 as well. So in this case, we're chasing a Misfire. We've got the car after another shop has been with it. And once again, plugs and coils have been done. We're seeing this a lot. It's never ever plugs and coils on a misfiring 5.7 or a 6.4. Now that I've said that, the next one that comes in will probably just be spark plugs. Spark plugs do wear out, but most shops are just throwing plugs and coils at these things without diagnosing them properly. We suspect we're going to find with this one either a broken valve spring once we get in there, or more than likely we're going to have a lifter failure and possibly a chewed up camshaft, which is caused by the MDS system and the same fault that we're seeing on the 6.4 V8s.
That torch is...
Oh. That is a lot of metal. This is it rocking now. I don't think it's cam. So the customer did tell us that the last visit to the dealership, they put a new ECU in it. I don't know why, and he couldn't remember why either. But obviously they've been testing something here. I suspect that's what's happened, is they've pushed too hard with their test probes and it's compromised the, anyway. So after rotating the motor with both valve covers off to look for suspected cam and rocker issues, although there was a bit of metal in the oil, still. When putting it back together, our tech here, Chella, has found that this plug is compromised. Can you see that?
Yeah, we'll find out.
And this is our issue the whole way along. So anyway, doing diag properly rather than just throwing parts at it. All right, so as always, it's never plugs and coils. Well, it's kind of close to coils this time. As you've seen if you're watching the film, the wiring at the back of the 3 of the ignition coils, but primarily number 2, turned out to be the problem. This happens because people pull multi-plugs off by yanking here instead of here. So to remove it, when it's in the car, you want to do that. Don't grab the tail, because you'll end up ripping all the wires out the back of the plug. So yeah, we've managed to save this by de-pinning this with all this contraption and repair it. Now I've got to do it 2 more times. So here we are at the pointy end of the Ram diagnostics. As you saw when we went down the diagnostic path, we automatically assumed this was going to be a worn cam load, a lifter or an MDS issue. We've determined that that's not the case. Obviously we've checked everything there. All the valve springs are rocking, so we then left the mechanical failure of the cam diagnosis to the side, had a look at compression, had a look at spark. Basically, long story short, we found that the issue is an electrical wiring issue in the harness to the multi-plug. This usually happens when people pull wiring off by pulling on the wires and not the actual plastic plug itself. So here's a bit of a case study on following the diagnostic process, making sure that mechanically everything was all right. Still a little bit of a question mark around the amount of metal in the oil, but at this stage we're comfortable letting this car go, having fixed the short in the wiring. Very good.